2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness O'Connor or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
The Ash, Luttsy and Nikki Osborne podcast.
David, check 1 2.
Good
check
morning.
1 2.
How are we?
Good, mate. You're in Hong Kong. What time is it there?
So it's 4 a.m. here, so that's,
This is the first time you've been up at 4 a.m. for the show since Adam Williscroft was in charge.
Now, what's going on in Hong Kong? Where are you at?
I've had a couple of days. I went to the opening of a stadium, and the brand new Kai Tak Stadium, which is a 50,000-seat indoor stadium here in Hong Kong on the side of the old airport. It's a bit of a game changer, actually. Here, it's pretty weird, actually, Ash, that and Nikki and everyone, that they've never had a stadium here really that's catered for that sort of number of people. You would have thought that Hong Kong would have been sort of a stadium that had that sort of thing going on, but for the first time ever, really, they're in the game now. They've got Coldplay coming in a couple of weeks, and that's the first time they've really had a cool venue like this to host them.
So it's an entertainment precinct more than a sporting arena.
Yeah, well, it is. It's a whole precinct. I'll have a bit of a chat about it later. There's all sorts of things. There's another 10,000-seat arena and everything like that. But they'll be able to play sport here, have concerts. It's got the best acoustics in the world. It's got all that sort of thing. So yeah, it's really interesting. Some interesting things we can have a look at it in relation to what we're doing with Brisbane in 2032 and that big announcement on March 25. So
and speaking
have
of
a bit of a chat later. Yeah.
Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. 45,000 over the weekend as the footy kicked off. I got one from
pretty good.
Mitch.
One from
I was going to back the Raiders too. I liked that they had that scuffle in the lead-up. It showed me they were switched on.
Galvanised them a little bit.
Well, I was
Bring
at
out the
lunch
plastic
on
baseball
Sunday.
bat.
You missed it, did you?
Oh, well, you'd think I would have, wouldn't you? But no, mid-lunch, on went the TV.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then everyone just stopped talking. And all the men migrated to the lounge and all the women migrated to the whiskey room where we proceeded to whinge about the men in the lounge. Mm-hmm. But
footy's back.
Yeah,
it's not even round 1 yet. Round 1's this week. That was round 0.
Oh, gee, Willikers, what am I in for?
We'll see you in October, Nikki.
The Ash, Luttsy and Nikki Osborne podcast.
I see over the weekend there were waves that were tracked off our coastline that was 16 metres high.
Yeah, 16.9 off Fraser.
Yeah, off Fraser Island.
Yeah.
Sarah come and told me that
The
yesterday.
sea was angry that day, my friends.
I'm like, are you talking feet? Like, that's a tidal wave. Like, that's a
that's
monster.
metres. That's 16 metres.
Well,
16.9.
Bribie Island, the tip of Bribie Island is under. The beach, there is no beach, and up on the Sunshine Coast, we went for a drive along the coast to see what's going on amongst everyone else who was going to see what's going on because they've cordoned off the beaches. You can't even go near the water, not even to put your feet in. It was that wild.
Yeah.
Good weekend to get a new jet ski, which we couldn't use.
Yeah, it was blowing on the Gold Coast too. Jody said it was raining this morning as well, and that we're being told to prepare. It could be the first cyclone to cross our state's southern coast in half a century.
Wow.
They're saying it could make landfall by Thursday as a Cat 2 system, packing gale force winds up to 600 mil of rain. I think last night at 10 p.m. it was 590 kilometres east of Rockhampton, 395k east of Bundaberg, but then they're saying it's going to move south as it is at the moment, but it's offshore, but then a new system is going to come in which will push it west. And the tracking at the moment is right on Brizzy.
Does that mean we'll have a cyclone in Brisbane?
A Category 2, so not your worst cyclone, but a really wet, miserable one.
Yeah, Cat
So does that
5
mean
is the
that
worst.
50 years since we've had a quote-unquote cyclone in Brisbane, or have we had a cyclone in Brisbane prior to that, or before that, or after that?
They're saying here the last time we had an active cyclone cross the coast this far south was Nancy back in 1990. That's not 50 years ago, is it?
No.
That's less than that.
I remember Nancy.
Yeah.
Because I saw a seagull get struck by lightning in front of my house.
Really?
It was crazy. I was watching because all the seagulls were flying backwards, right? Because I
How is
got
it?
pushed backwards. And then I saw this zap of lightning and a poof of like smoke and feathers. And it just went down
direct
into
hit.
the water. Direct hit.
Direct hit.
Right in front of my
And the
eyeballs.
feathers just, vroom,
I was like
cartoon.
9 and I was devastated.
Yeah, I was 9 in 1992, by the way.
Yeah, we all
I
were.
was playing along. And then they're saying before that, you go back to 1974, where Cyclone Zoe, it came in just north of Tweed Heads.
It's always women, isn't it? I'll be glad when it's a man that finally comes.
No,
across
but it's
the
always
coast.
women, isn't it?
No, this is Alfred. This is
Ever
a
met
dude.
an Alfred lady, Luttsy? No.
Well, I mean, in this day and
Maybe
age, I'm not
Hong
going to
Kong.
answer that.
Well, Freddie's a
Yeah.
chick's name, actually. Yeah. No, I think they were going to call it. It was on track to be called Cyclone Anthony, but they changed it because it's not. They're not able to have names that are referenced with people who are in the public
Who are in
spotlight.
the media.
We didn't do that in election year.
Imagine that Anthony spotted on the beach.
Elbow be covering it one way or the other.
Oh, right, yeah.
I think I'd rather see a cyclone than Anthony on the beach.
The Ash, Luttsy and Nikki Osborne podcast.
Now, Trump and Zelensky didn't have a very good first meeting, did they?
What about that?
That kind of blew up. I'd imagine that's what most of their meetings are like behind the scenes. It's the first time we as the world have got to spectate.
It was like he was copying a lecture. I actually found it. Still haven't watched the thing in its entirety yet because it just feels so, I don't know, awkward or
It's very awkward. It was,
to get through. It was like he was copying a lecture.
yes.
Then the other bloke, Vance, was there as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, Vance was there. He jumped on too. That they were both mansplaining. It was a really uncomfortable meeting, and we all got to watch, which got me to think about some of the uncomfortable first meetings I've had in the past. One of them, I remember, I'd met my husband's mate, who used to be his former neighbour. And he said, and you've met his wife a few times. I'm like, oh, have I? Anyway, we met, and I was just blank. I couldn't remember from anything. And so in an overreach of familiarity, I said, oh, and congrats on the baby. She wasn't pregnant. She was, I did it.
Of all things to reach for.
And then I just went, it was the pleats. You've got the pleats. And she's like, I have had a baby. I said, yeah, not long ago. She said, 18 months ago. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. But
You've actually made that mistake.
I did it.
I got a friend who's made that mistake, but yeah, you've been there.
I did it. Never
That's gotta
ever
be-
say anything like Amber here.
Do you just die on the spot when that happens?
Yeah, and we've never spoken to them since. But like Amber, who works here,
Yeah.
I had a very good suspicion she had a bun in the oven.
Well, she does.
I
Yes.
said nothing.
Yeah, you can.
Nothing.
Even now, my anxiety levels around that are so bad that even with Amber, I just don't. When you go to say
Still
how's
doesn't
it going
feel
or
safe,
something,
yes.
I still don't feel
Yes.
safe.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
Oh,
but
look! When it happened to my mate Smithy, Nikki, and we were on a bus, and he asked the lady in front, who we didn't know. We were in India actually. We were touring in India. We were going out to see the Taj Mahal, and he hit like a 3-hour trip to Agra
Yeah.
from Delhi, and then we came back as part of the tour, and he asked on the way there, and it was as excruciating as watching Trump with Zelensky. Actually, it was brutal.
So not only did he call her fat, he was probably racist too at the same time. Had the double whammy. Extra points for that one. Well done.
But there's no way Zelensky knew that he was coming in, and that's the way the meeting was going to go.
No.
I don't think. Do you?
No.
I didn't expect that.
No, I think he felt rather blindsided and he couldn't get a word in anyway. But it makes me wonder how many people out there have had a horrible first encounter. It could be in-laws, it could be work. When has a meeting gone wrong? 13, 24, 10. I want to hear from people.
Can we take a quick call, like just to whet the appetite, because we went down that path of sort of, falsely announcing a pregnancy, and
Yeah.
it says, Michael, you've done it. You've done it twice to the same lady.
Yeah, 2 years apart, double uppercut to myself.
Oh, Oh, like, I think you learned the first time, Michael. You should have learned.
I knew her when she was actually very slim lady, and when I saw her, I said, "Oh, so when are you due?" And I had it a couple of months ago.
And what about the second time? Like in your head, you had to go, "Hey, Michael, come on! Last time you made a fool of yourself. Be double sure this time before you open your big mouth." Like what happened the second time?
I think I've wiped it from the memory bank, Sash.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But it happened.
Well, what have we learned, everyone? Never assume. Never assume. And, you know, a lot of women, it's your uterus, right? You get a puffy uterus.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, David.
Is it?
Endo's real.
Puffy uterus.
A puffy uterus.
The Ash, Luttsy and Nikki Osborne podcast.
Meetings didn't go so well off the back of Trump and Zelensky having a nice little fiery meet in front of the cameras over the weekend.
Yeah, that was just wild to watch. It's weird because Trump's brought social media into the political era, very much so. So everything gets shown. He's got everything on display. It's just, it feels like there are some things we shouldn't witness.
No, that seemed like one of them.
And that was one of them. All right, we've got a few calls. Who have we got? Amanda, Forest Lake. What happened?
We went to a wedding. My son was just nearly 4 months old, breastfeeding, loose dress. Someone came up, knew we were having a baby. He didn't know that we had. In the October, the wedding was in the February, and he came up and said, "Oh, you're looking good. You ready to have the baby?" And I went, "No, he's over there."
Oh,
and
he's on
He's over there at the buffet.
in a pram.
Yeah, I punted him when I went to catch the bouquet.
Here's the baby. Yeah, it was just hilarious. And this poor guy, his face just looked crestfallen. And I just went, sometimes you just don't say these things. So anyway.
But Amanda, you and I
risk.
we know that post-baby, it takes a while. Like
you don't want to be wearing skinny dresses.
No, it takes months and months. It was 6 months until I kind of got close to my pre-baby weight. So it's an easy mistake to make. So, yeah, everyone, don't ask if anyone's pregnant.
Yeah, just keep it quiet. Keep your suspicions quiet. All right, Scott out of Beanley, what happened to you, mate? You're at an office party.
Yeah, I was at an office Christmas party. Everyone's drinking and having fun, and there was this bird singing, mucking around, and I went over and internal smart ass and said, "Oh, don't give up your day job." She was actually in the band for the Christmas party to sing.
Oh, no, you're like Colin from Love Actually, where he goes, "Oh, thank God you didn't cater this party." I did. Oh, no.
The Ash, Luttsy and Nikki Osborne podcast.
And we mentioned at the top of the show, Luttsy, you've been in Hong Kong. You were talking a bit about this towards the end of last week, checking out a new stadium that they have over there. But what have you been doing?
Yeah, so they've opened. It's the people from. Remember last week I was talking about Populous, who was the stadium architects, designers that do. If you think of any of the big stadiums in the world, there's a good chance that Populous are the guys behind it. And
they've got a little shop in Brisbane, yeah.
Yeah, well, they've got this one of their offices, or their main office in this side of the world is Brisbane. You've got this incredible sort of office where these people are creating new projects right around the world. And Kai Tak Sports Park is the one here in Hong Kong. They've just developed, and it opened on Saturday night. I thought I was just going to one of those openings where they get a few dignitaries and a few media, and we sit there in the stadium and they cut some ribbon. It turns out, 45,000 people turned up. It was a whole event where, we had the governor or whatever they call it. They call it the chief executive of Hong Kong waving to the people, and it was like a whole thing on stage with rock stars and Olympians and all sorts of things.
Luttsy, I've got to ask you, who was the older dude who I called Hof Kong? Who was that?
I still have no idea because the whole thing was in Chinese. So this old 77-year-old just rocks on. I'm trying to think of an Australian equivalent. I mean, I guess when you think of John Farnham and people like that, but I wouldn't say the crowd was getting into him like it was John Farnham on stage. It was just some 77-year-old dude strutting around.
In a shiny jacket.
Using
singer.
In a shiny jacket. Yeah. So that all happened, and but it's essentially it reminded me. It gave me vibes of Suncorp Stadium, just with this amazing roof. That sort of So the Rugby Sevens is on here next month, the Hong Kong Rugby Sevens, and they'll either open the roof or they can keep it shut. It's got the best acoustics, according to the Populous guys, of any stadium they've ever done. So I mean,
retractable roof on it.
Yeah. It's basically Suncorp Stadium with a retractable roof. Yeah. Which is pretty cool. And then around it, you've got this precinct of retail and all sort of eating restaurants and bars and things like that. It's really quite an incredible thing. So what the guys were saying, and this is, I guess, the challenge once we find out on March 25 what happens in Brisbane. These guys make stadiums. I mean, the thought that these guys are putting in, and everyone's got their say on where stadiums should be, and which is great that everyone's invested in Brisbane, but the amount of the thought process, having spent 2 days with these guys from Populous, it makes me realise that there are so many talented people that have us covered. Like we can't mess this thing, the Olympics, up with the people that are based in Brisbane that are truly world leaders in doing this. They're talking about not only starting sort of like reverse engineering when we make these stadiums, from just worrying about what the athlete or the entertainer, like that experience, and making sure that we build the best stadiums for them. Then they talk about the experience that the patrons, people sitting at the stadium, get, the relationship between them and what's happening on the field. But then from a larger perspective, they're also working out in, like here in Hong Kong with this new precinct, what the city needs in this precinct. So where's the best place to put it? What do we need in this stadium? What's the surrounding precinct around it? So basically they're saying that they want the stadium and the infrastructure to sweat or be a busy building, which means that it's not just for sport or entertainment. It means that 7 days a week you utilise that space. So there's retail. So it's a great experience when 50,000 people rock up to watch sport and entertainment. But on a Monday, it's a great experience when a family of five going to head down there and have some lunch or enjoy sporting facilities. Yeah, or as I did, break a horse. Do you want to talk about that now? That's probably a different break, because I've got a whole experience where I made kids cry as well.
What a tease when Luttsy made the kids cry. Yeah, I want to hear about that.
in Hong Kong. So I might do that separately. But it's been a pretty incredible experience, and I think like Populous and also ASM Global, who are also a great company that has a massive Brisbane base, and they manage the stadiums. They manage Suncorp Stadium, all the great stadiums we have in Brisbane and around the world as well. These two companies that combine, and these are the sort of people that are going to be creating, when we announced it on March 25, the infrastructure around the 2032 Olympics. And again, having spent a couple of days with these people, like the amount of the level of care they have for Brisbane around what we're going to build for the Olympics is beyond even, and you know what I'm like, it's beyond even what I anticipated this city can achieve over the next 7 years, leading up to Brisbane 2032. It's actually remarkable, the hands we're in.
It sounds like you might have seen some plans on the sly. It sounds like you've got a bit of an inside look, maybe.
Yeah, well, I have, and it's also the interesting you see about, Marvel Stadium in which is the old Dockland Stadium in Melbourne, and of course Suncorp Stadium here. The DNA of those stadiums which we've built is what they do is they take the best bits of every single bit of infrastructure they build and put them moving forward into what they're building. So here at the Kai Tak Stadium in Hong Kong, you'll see elements of Suncorp Stadium. The roof drew elements of Marvel, but then they said that didn't work, so let's do this. And when you look at this, the other thing, Nikki, and you mentioned it the other day about having pieces of legacy as far as, wow, when you go to Brisbane, you want to see this. The way they've built the aesthetic of this stadium from the outside, and also even when the roof falls back, it falls back in a way where it doesn't impact the aesthetic of the outside of the building. Like, it's truly a piece where, as you fly in, you'll see it and think, oh my God, I'm going to an incredible city here. So on every level, these guys are working in a way which can create some real magic for 2032 for Brisbane. It's exciting.
I like the idea too of using that infrastructure on, as often as possible. There's no reason those kitchens. I know I've got friends in New York actually that they work with those stadiums. All that kitchen space, for example, is being left unutilised for most of the time, except for when there's a function on, and that could be incorporated into the deal as well. But anyway, it's pretty exciting
A
stuff.
giant Ibis
Paul.
water park stadium. Perfect.
Well, maybe that's
like
it, you know.
Print copy.
The Ash, Luttsy and Nikki Osborne podcast.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Northbridge or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
Second wonders.
Second wonders.
Full Oscars themed songs that have won Oscars for Best Original Song at the Oscars, with the awards kicking off at 11 a.m. today, the official awards. You can check it out on 7.
Has Elton ever won an Oscar? I feel like Elton would have won an Oscar.
The Lion King, I reckon.
Surely.
I reckon it would have been The Lion King.
Someone check.
Can you feel the love tonight?
Yep.
One of those ones.
Yeah. Something.
Surely.
Yeah, definitely. That. I mean, I can thank God that those are none of the options in front of me, because otherwise that would have spoilt one of the 5 that we've got here. I'm going to give you the first second of the song. First one to jump in. And look, I don't think I'm going to necessarily ask for the artist, because I don't know that you would have known all these artists. I'll take maybe the movie and the song title, because I've had a look.
Okay.
I think those are a bit more are a bit clearer. Okay, so song number 1.
No.
No, I had the time of my life.
No, you do.
Can I
Oh,
answer?
Dirty
my
Dancing.
life.
Bill Medley, Jennifer Warnes, that one. We were asking for the artist, but yeah, I've had the time of my life. Thanks to Dirty Dancing in 1988.
I carried a watermelon.
For
Good old
best-
Patrick.
Absolutely. Song number 2.
Oh, that sounds like John Legend.
Go again.
I might have to go again.
Oh, is that Bright Eyes?
Interstellar.
It is not.
Okay.
It's not Bright Eyes?
No. I'll give you a little
Play
bit
it again.
more.
Inception.
No, I like what you're doing with some Hans Zimmer-ness. I think he actually did the score
Yeah.
for this movie, to be fair, but this is...
Sounds like Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, maybe he collabed.
Is this Oppenheimer?
No, it's not.
I haven't seen it.
No. Okay, look, we're 8 seconds away from getting the artist at least.
Beetlejuice.
Oh, my God. Okay, here we go.
Yahoo, serious.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Oh, Skyfall.
Billie Eilish.
No.
You're so close.
Bond.
Oh, Adele.
Bond. James Bond.
Okay.
Hello on the Inside.
Billie Eilish, No Time to Die is the name of the song
I
from
thought
the
it was
last
Billie.
Bond song. Yeah, from the last Bond movie.
Does that count? I said
No,
Bond.
it doesn't. If we come down to half points...
I've never heard this
maybe
song.
Give it to you.
No,
Yeah, she won 2 Oscars, Billie Eilish.
Billy's got 2 Oscars.
She's got 2
Really?
Oscars. Yep. Okay, song number 3.
Oh, Take My Breath Away.
Top Gun.
Oh, God. That's not fair. I feel like...
This is Kelly.
Yes.
This is Kelly and Tom on the
Kelly McGillis.
on the
Yep.
motorbike. She never got a start
Seen
in the
her?
second Top Gun.
No,
Apparently
why
she
was
didn't
that?
age well.
Oh.
And she
Oh,
said,
you
I
can't
don't want to
say
be
that.
part of it.
You
No,
can't
she
say
said
that.
that. No, she said that.
She
herself.
did-
She
she
said,
did.
Beautiful woman.
She said, I haven't aged well. I'm not the leading
Oh, she
lady.
said it.
She said it, not
Well, that's all
anyone
right then.
else.
Okay, right. Well,
I'm not saying it.
No.
No, you can't
beautiful.
say it. Do not say it.
Song number 4, moving straight on.
oh, that's a tough one. Mitchell James.
Oh, that sounds like
Is it J-Lo? Not J-Lo. Well, that song's called J-Lo or something. J-Lo.
Oh, is it from Hustler?
Come on,
As if that would win an award.
Slumdog Millionaire.
Is that right?
Jai-Ho.
Nicole
Wow.
Scherzinger.
Yes. Well, I mean, the Pussycat Dolls come and ruined an otherwise good song, but
That's what they do.
yeah.
That was an outstanding get.
Very
She's
well
got
done.
good chops, though. Have you heard her sing solo or just a cappella?
Can't sing.
She's got chops and legs.
What does chops
She's
mean?
got chops and pipes and everything.
And
What's
the
chops
girls
mean on
and
a female anatomy?
Chops, that's your voice.
Oh, your voice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I hope someone's keeping score. I'm lost
And
to all
by
these
the way,
half points.
Elton won Oscars for Can You Feel the Love Tonight
The Lion
and
King.
That.
Love Me Again, Rocket Man. He's got 2.
And his own biopic.
Oh, really? Okay.
All right, final song.
Last one. Oh,
Brother, we're out there. Or that one.
Play it again. Oh, Gaga. A Star is
Bradley
Born.
Cooper.
What's the song? What's the song?
A Star is Born. Oh, Off the Deep End. I dance to this. Shallow. I must say, I keep saying this like a wanker. I nearly got top marks on Dancing with the Stars dancing to this.
Did you?
I got all vulnerable.
How?
I cried while I was dancing.
What, you were so moved by your own performance?
I was that good.
The Ash, Luttsy and Nikki Osborne podcast.
David Crisafulli, our Premier, is out this morning spruiking awareness around the cyclone, which is scheduled to hit later this week, asking literally that we get our houses in order. But exactly what is going on and what the forecast is, we're going to speak to Jeff from Higgins Storm Chasers, because the last we heard is that it's scheduled to cross our coastline on Thursday at some stage. There's huge swells, gale force winds predicted. Morning, Jeff. Thanks for having a chat to us, mate.
Good morning, Jeff.
What is the latest?
Okay, yeah, well, he actually just increased to a Category 2 again off the coast of Brisbane. So we've seen some strengthening overnight, which is not ideal, and it's not good news for southeast Queensland.
Where is it at the moment? Where is it at the moment? It's off Rocky, off Bundaberg, around there, scheduled to track south and then push west?
He's well further down this morning. He's about 450 kilometres east of Brisbane, or northeast of Brisbane. We do expect a little bit further southeasterly movement today and tomorrow, which sort of puts him in line due east of Brisbane, but a little bit further out. And then all the data at the moment is just locked on that he's going to hook into the west and cross the coast between about the Sunshine Coast and Brisbane at this stage.
Now,
Thursday to Friday. But, with these systems, as we get closer in time, say another day or two, all the data really refine much better, and you can really hone in on exactly where and the time.
right. So, Jeff, a question I have for you is, because I live on the coast, up the Sunshine Coast, it's already quite the mess. All the beaches are closed. There's red tape everywhere. Bribey Island, the tip's covered in water. I have a boat ramp. The tide's already inundated a lot further than it has before. What would the prevailing wind be if Alfred were to hit?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it is a mess up there. We've seen some photos and videos yesterday of South Bribey, the breakthrough, and it's destroying that part which protects Golden Beach, as you know, and the passage. So that's going to become quite a problem, I believe. This swell is already in place, and the high tide, an extra high tides above normal tide are already there, and they're expected to continue all week and progressively get worse as the system crosses. Now, typically, obviously, the winds on the system rotate clockwise. Mm-hmm. So wherever the centre is, if you draw a line out to the centre of the system, anything through the middle and on the southern side, all the southern side gets the onshore winds and swell, and it really piles it up. We've got some predictions there of 5 to 7 metre swell with waves in excess of 10 metres, 30 feet.
Wow.
Those huge waves would be just offshore, but it doesn't matter. It's still, you can imagine what that's doing on the beach. So we're looking at huge erosion and damage. And then as the system gets nearer on Thursday, and actually some of the data this morning's just put a fair bit of the crossing now on Friday morning. Doesn't matter either way. It's Thursday or Friday at this stage. As he crosses, there's a lot of inundation that could occur for low-lying areas. So, those streets that go nearly under on king tides, all your parks and your foreshores, with all this water that piles up on the winds and having those big swells hitting the beaches, there's going to be some inundation around, but just a lot of damage.
So it's going to all come up through the storm drains in reverse and cover the low-lying roads.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, and we've seen it before with East Coast lows. This thing's named a cyclone and all of that sort of stuff, which is fair, but don't focus on whether it's a cyclone or not, or exactly where it's going to cross. It's more about this thing's going to have a pretty wide, severe impact, anywhere from the Sunshine Coast down to Coffs Harbour in New South Wales at this stage. So that's all of southeast coast of Queensland. That's our major population centres: Gold Coast, Brisbane, Ipswich, Sunshine Coast. And then some heavy rain and stuff extends well inland to Toowoomba, Warwick. I'm out at Warwick now, out here as well.
And how long do you think this cell could last for? Like, but people hearing this now will be going out to the shops and getting, supplies, water, some food to get you through the weekend. How long do you think we should be preparing to, have power outages and kind of bunker down?
Yeah, I think most people's power will be okay.
Yep.
It's the people up in the hills, hinterland or power lines with trees. The biggest thing will be trees coming down on power lines, and I think the same for your house. Most people's houses could withstand 150k winds. Okay, garden sheds might go tumbling. There's going to be a lot of trampolines flying around Brisbane, I think, but.
That's always the first to go. We actually flipped ours last night, so it's down, face down.
Good idea.
Yeah.
All the loose items need to be tied down before, say, Wednesday, because even from Wednesday, things are going really blowy. I think
so, Jeff,
Thursday. Yep. Sorry.
Just to circle back on what you said earlier, like to help, we'll get a greater understanding. I think you said a day out or whatever. Like, so when do you think we should be is the most critical moment to go, okay, when will we exactly know that it's going to hit or where it's going to hit? Like a day out? Are you saying Wednesday morning we've got to start taking notice of our reports and the news and things like that to specifically locked in where this is going to hit and how damaging the impact's going to be?
Yep. From now, I'll pitch it at 95% chance of crossing the coast Thursday or Friday. All the data is just locked in. So
and just real quickly, Jeff, that Cat 2, like you mentioned, it's a Cat 2. So what can we expect? If I look at my weather app, I just chucked in Point Lookout for the weekend. It goes on colours. Green is calm. It goes up to blue. Yep. It's actually predicting orange. I didn't even know it went to orange. I've never seen that before. So what winds are we predicting?
So 150k gusts at this stage, which is a high category 2 on crossing. That means coastal parts, Sunshine Coast, Brisbane, Gold Coast, are really going to get hammered with winds. Now, we have some pretty big issues with rainfall as well. Lots of places are likely to get 300 millimetres, but peak totals could be as high as 800 mil in 2 days.
Wow.
Okay, so flooding. Big issue with flooding. People are going to have to be really careful as to not to drive into floodwaters. And look, I think we may even see school closures, to be honest with you.
Okay.
It's going to be really ugly.
They'll call off footy trainer, Jeff. They always do. They always do, mate. Hey, we better leave it there, but we might stay in touch with you during the week so we can keep people as up-to-date and prepared as possible. Yep. But appreciate your time this morning. Jeff from Higgins Storm Chasers, we'll talk to you later in the week.
Cheers, mate.
I love the way he sounds like he's blowing away.
The Ash, Luttsy and Nikki Osborne podcast.
Oscars now.
Mitch's Movies in a Minute.
Yeah, the big one kicks off a couple of hours' time. And look, I think we've been talking off air about the fact that a lot of the movies that are, up for Best Picture and a few of the gongs, we haven't really seen.
They're not streaming yet. They're all cinema release. And when do we go to the cinema? We don't.
They're in that mid-period between cinema release and streaming. I think you've got like The Substance and... that's almost about it. So I know there's a couple of movies coming out. We did trial this somewhat. It became a trial last year. You guys had me say, hey, look, House of the Dragon Season 2's coming out. Oh, yeah? You got to remind us what happened in Season 1, but you know that I like to gibber. You gave me 60 seconds to do it. And I compacted 10 hours of storytelling, Nikki, into 60 seconds.
You did, actually. We had to speed it up, didn't we?
We had to speed it up. So I'm hopefully won't have to get the speeder because I'm going to do this live. But
is this a synopsis of Season 1, so we're ready for Season 2? Is that what you're saying?
That's what happened. That's what we trialled it out. So now we're going to do movies in a minute, but I'm going to give you the Oscars in a minute.
Okay.
And mainly what's going to win the big awards.
Okay.
Because I know, Ash, you're a little bit invested. So
I'm on Demi. We're
going to have a listen. Okay, so I've got 60 seconds. Let's see how much that I can cram in to 60 seconds. All right, here we go. All right, we'll start with the one that's most important. Ash has got his money. The punting. Best actress. I think your money is safe to be more in The Substance. The only threat, Mikey Madison from Anora, although she is in her early 20s, and a lot of these Oscar voters like to think that these actors will come back in the future, so they're going to give it to someone who's deserved it. Same might happen for Timothée Chalamet for A Complete Complete Unknown. You got the SAG last week, which is voted by his fellow actors, but I think they'll feel like he's going to be back many more times. Ralph Fiennes is there for Conclave. He might be a threat, but I think Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, he might rise above some of the controversy around that movie to take out his second Oscar. I think the same will happen for Best Supporting Actress. Zoe Saldana, she took out the SAG as well as a bunch of others, and this movie, she's in Amelia Perez. Heavily controversial. I think this would be a nice way to reflect it without touching on someone a bit nicer. Ariana Grande, not going to win the Oscar there. Every year there is an absolute given. I think it's coming down to the Best Supporting Actor with Kieran Culkin in A Real Pain. I think a lot of people think that he's going to be playing a version of himself from Succession. He's not doing anything different, but I think if you watch that movie, he goes into some much darker places. And with 2 seconds to go, I think the Best Picture is going to Honora.
Oh, that was outstanding. Oh, shit, Ken, I forgot to take a breath.
The Ash, Luttsy and Nikki Osborne podcast.
I'm smarter than. I'm smarter than who?
The Brighton Answer deal is here, with one lucky person winning $100,000 off the price of their new home every month. Drop into your nearest Brighton display home today.
Okay, it's Monday morning. We're playing for $1,500. And they say a cyclone is coming on Thursday or Friday for our neck of the woods. Raining on the Gold Coast at the moment, they tell me. And Melanie is out at Samford. Morning, Melanie. What's it like out there at the moment?
Good morning. It's pretty calm here at the moment, so nothing to worry about right now.
It's still here. We broadcast from Tenerife. It's pretty still here as well. Anyway, It's all supposedly arriving Thursday or Friday. Jeff from Higgins Storm Chasers said a bit earlier on in the show. But we're playing for $1,500. You've played before. You had a loss.
I did.
This would be the time to turn it around. It's the most we've played for so far this year. So good luck.
Thanks. No pressure.
Don't pass. Just don't pass. If you don't know it, say don't know.
Okay.
It cost old mate last week. Let's go. Good luck. 30 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now. What company produces the Kindle?
Apple.
What is the last name of famous child actor siblings Macaulay and Kieran?
Colton.
In netball, a player with the letters GA on their bib is playing what position?
Goal attack.
What is the name of the cyclone currently off the coast?
Alfred.
Spell breathe.
BREATHE.
Stop the clock. It was quick. It was fast. It was swift, Mitch. What was it?
Tried.
4 seconds remaining.
All right, you chewed up a bit of time on question number 1.
I did.
But other than that, I thought it was smooth sailing. You finished with a competitive score. I reckon you're going to be hard to beat. $1,500 we're playing for. You got no kids with you at the moment? Ready to do a gimp, do you?
I don't. She's actually sick, so I don't think she'd be up for it.
That's all right. Let's bring in the
Come
gimp
on.
then.
If the guest has answered, I want to bring in the game. If the questions are over and our time on air was slim, I want to stay here just for a while before the game wins on time. If the guest has answered, I want to bring in the gift.
Madison, well done. Die with a smile, little turn there. It's fantastic.
I like that very much.
That sounded, I caught the end of that, it sounded a bit like Alicia when she does our throwback throwdowns or whatever they are.
You
the
rate
top
it?
5.
You rate Alicia's voice, do you?
She's not bad.
Is she?
Well, like, it sounds nice. Not always in key, but it sounds nice. Anyway.
Alicia looked like she was going to chime in there, but I think after that last comment, she'll just leave it as
was a
is.
backhanded compliment.
Her face started to glow, and then all of a sudden it was like she just got a little uppercut on the way through. Yeah.
And how's that pregnancy coming along, Alicia?
Oh,
While
here we
we're
go.
at it.
All right, you ready, Nikki?
Who am I playing? Melanie.
Melanie. Okay, but
Okay.
let's keep you apart until we sort out business.
All right.
Here we go. 30 seconds on the clock. Your time starts now. What company produces the Kindle?
Don't know.
What is the last name of famous child actor siblings Macaulay and Kieran?
Culkin.
In netball, a player with the letters GA on their bib is...
Goal attack.
What is the name of the cyclone currently off the coast of
Alfred.
Queensland? Spell breathe.
Breathe.
Stop the clock. Double two go. Hold it. Mitch.
Who is Kindle? Kindle. They're those audiobook things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ruined the movie.
No,
what,
Kindle's
what's
where
Kindle?
you can read the book on your
the little things
on your iPad or whatever.
It's the actual thing. Who does make those?
It's like
No idea.
a book.
Oh,
that
you don't know either.
well, do you want me to start with that? Because Melanie said
If
it
you
was
want, mate.
Apple. Nikki, you said I don't know. It's Amazon.
Oh, you were
It's
so
Bezos.
close, Melanie. You hit an A.
Oh, well.
You don't get any points for that, though. It's 0-all. The last name of famous child actor, siblings Macaulay and Kieran, is Culkin. You both got that. And isn't Kieran Culkin up against Guy Pearce today, Mitch?
Yes, he is. He'd probably be an Oscar winner in about 3 hours. That's usually the first award to go off as Best Supporting Actor.
He's having a good run too.
He's in Succession, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And that movie's nominated for A Real Pain, just dropped on Disney Plus last week. I watched it over the weekend. He's very good in it. Yeah, so go check it out.
It's
Take
1-all.
that, Macaulay.
Well, we haven't seen Macaulay in quite some time.
No, he got a hot wife.
Macaulay does.
Yeah.
He deserves that.
Yeah, he
I'm
does.
happy for
He deserves that.
Yeah. Well done, Macaulay.
In netball, a player with the letters GA on their bib is playing goal attack. You both got that.
That was me.
It's were you the goal attack? Were like goal attack's the position to be because
It
you
is.
get to shoot goal. You get to go
You get to
everywhere.
go everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
2-all. The name of the cyclone currently off the coast of Queensland is Alfred. You both got that.
Well, it's hard not to notice him at the moment.
3-all. And spell breathe. BREATHE. You both got that. It's a 4-all draw.
Oh,
Melanie had 4 seconds onto the clock. We go over to Mitchell James.
4 seconds, Melanie. Nikki had 6.
I'm starting to feel really bad. Oh, Melanie, I'm sorry.
Shame.
Oh, well,
Good job.
there's still good prizes, though. There's good prizes.
It means
Well done to you.
$1,600 we're going to play for tomorrow. Now, have we got a Kowloon kickback cave there, Luttsy, over in Hong Kong?
Yeah, there's something here somewhere, buddy.
All right, well, let's go. Let's go into the Kowloon kickback cave with David.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Okay.
You're coming through clear.
Oh, so does it sound like because I've gone down into a cavey area?
That's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
It's
Okay,
actually an
that's good.
improvement.
There you go.
Yeah, it's good.
Awesome. Okay, I've got a $250 Broncos Leagues Club voucher for you. You can get down to, just hold your excitement till the end maybe. Get down to the Broncos Leagues Club in Fulcher Road, Red Hill, and you can tuck in a delicious meal while the boys put in the hard work out on the training paddock. Broncos, hang on a sec, I've just got to zoom in here in the old cave down here. broncosclub.com.au. That's broncosclub.com.au for all that Broncos Club news. And I'll tell you what, I'll throw in a $100 Little Red Dumplings voucher for you as well. Our good friends at Little Red Dumplings. So, well done there.
Thank you very much.
Goes again, eh?
The Ash, Luttsy and Nikki Osborne podcast.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, Reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness O'Connor or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
All right, Luttsy's been
Nice.
teasing this funny story all morning.
It is.
Shut up.
Let's get to it.
Gibberer.
No, I want it in prime time.
You teased something funny, and I said I got something
Come on.
interesting. I'm sure I said interesting,
Come on.
not funny.
If I don't
Well,
fall
I'm in
off my
Hong Kong
chair-
at the moment. I'm in Hong Kong
You're
at the
gone
moment, as you
bonkers
all
in
know.
Honkers.
It's getting a bit light here. What time is it here? It's bloody 6:21 in the morning. So I'm up at Sparrows to do this bloody show while I'm over
We
here. I was over here for
appreciate
the
it.
opening of opening of Kaitack Stadium, which has given me some really incredible insights into Brisbane 2032. I spoke about it earlier, and certainly I'll be doing our next podcast with Chris Jones. My tour of the games will be an absolute cracker about some of the things I've learned here and that we can take forward to Brisbane 2032. But essentially, I've been spent the last 2 days touring this sports precinct. It's called a sports park. So there's an athletics track. There's a 50,000 seat indoor stadium, which is phenomenal. Then you've got retail and shopping, and then you've got these whole range of entertainment arcade style areas, which is like a kids playground, but it's also suitable for adults as well. Very high tech, interactive arcade style, multi-level, amusement centres. Like the ones we have, in shopping centres.
And when does this get amusing?
Not yet. Not yet.
Come on, get there sooner.
Not yet.
Being really mean. Go on, tell us your story.
It's incredibly mean, Nikki.
I know.
So as part of it, we go to the amusement centre, and they have those mechanical horses that they've been around for years. They used to have them at Adrenaline Sports Bar in Brisbane back in the day, where you hop on these little mechanical horses and you watch the screen in front. You sort of get on it and you wiggle your ass and you push the horse's head and you try and win the race.
Like that up, yeah. Remember you and I spent a whole afternoon at Alice Springs once betting on that stuff as
we did. We did indeed. So
were you riding on one of them?
Yeah, so I get on that, and everyone's filming it because there's a whole media contingent. Most of them are Chinese media, and then a couple of the guy from my mate Gary from the Australian. Everyone's filming me, and they've got reins and everything you're supposed to grab, and sort of, and you've got virtual reality glasses on. It's a whole thing where I'm consumed in this race. I'm going down the straight at Sha Tin, and I've got my mate from China's on one side of me, another bloke on the other side of me on fake horses as well, and the reins didn't really work that well, so you kind of have to grab the horse's neck and sort of shake it as you're going down the straight. You're literally metaphorically strangling a horse.
You get suspended for that, surely, as a jockey.
It's a fake horse.
Yeah.
I will clarify at this point.
Yes,
it's a fake horse I'm talking about here. But as I'm strangling its neck, I rip the head of the horse off. I don't know whether I was too vigorously jerking this horse's head.
Easy.
It would be the first time before you would have done it.
So
now I know how his socks feel.
I've ripped the horse's head off.
Yeah.
There's video of it. I have to put it up there so Nick can see it. So this horse's head's just slumped to the ground. There's kids watching. Kids start crying.
Yeah.
And it's a whole scene.
It's like a scene from, what's that movie we were talking about? The horse's head in the bed.
Oh, The Godfather.
You've Godfathered the horse, mate.
Yeah, and it was a scene. It's halfway between a bunch of people adults laughing their heads off, and these kids, parents hiding children's eyes away and averting them away from what is now a disaster zone.
The bogan Aussie just went too far, kids. Don't watch this.
And ripped the horse's head off, and they're kind of ushering us out because we're moving on. And then I go downstairs, and I remember as we were going in, it was called Sonic Stadium, this certain part of it, and it's Sonic the Hedgehog, and there's a Sonic the Hedgehog mascot out the front, fully like Nova Boy, doing his thing, and again we sweep through with our media entourage like we're so important. We've all got media badges on and stuff like that, and I say, off the back of that, I'd like to get a photo with Sonic, so
you got a taste for blood now.
Yeah. So, and I just walk up to Sonic, not knowing that there's a lineup of children waiting for Sonic's picture, and I just push in past these kids, and then it's me doing love hearts with Sonic, and another kid starts crying. So in two different areas now, I'm making these kids cry.
Sorry, kids. David Luttrell, Nova Radio, Brisbane.
You're going to have to wait, children.
The Ash, Luttsy and Nikki Osborne podcast.
It's Oscars Day today.
It is.
As well.
Oh, yes.
It's on this morning, and you can watch it actually. Channel 7 coverage starts at 9 a.m. Miley Hogan will be covering all the action for 7, and we've got her, I think, on the red carpet as we speak this morning. Good morning, Miley. Has the red carpet kicked off yet, or what exactly is going on?
Good morning, guys. I am on the red carpet, but actually, I like to say I'm in the media pen at the moment. I've been pushed back into this pen, which is where they keep us in this little spot just to make sure we don't get out onto the red carpet and start yelling out the celebrities too much.
Have we seen anyone yet? There's a screen. What's going on?
Miley, well done.
Well, at the moment, they've got a drone that's coming on through this stage, so they're cheering everyone on as they're doing their opening shot.
Oh, I see. So we've got some Aussies up for the big nods tonight, don't we? We've got, who do we have?
Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce is up. And what's his name? Greg something from Melbourne. He did June.
Oh, the cinematographer.
I've worked with him before on something. It was an ad or something like that.
He obviously left his mark on you.
No. Look, they're behind the camera. You never get to see them, and you're shoved into another pen.
Give me a coffee, Greg.
You are the last
Now he's up
party
for an
in the
Oscar.
conference.
Well, Miley, what do you make of Guy Pearce's chances? He's in a pretty good field up against Kieran Culkin and Ed Norton as well.
I think.
Have we lost her?
I think we might have just lost Miley temporarily.
It sounded like Zoom just gave up.
That's weird.
What's the brutalist, Mitch? That one that Guy Pearce is up for?
Sounds like a bit of a rough one. Adrian Brody, it's post World War II, and he's sort of someone who survived the camps, and he's making his move to America and trying to start his life again. But it's this sort of decades long story, and I mean the movie goes for. If you go to watch it, it's a 4-hour commitment because they actually have an intermission in the middle of watching the movie. The movie itself goes for about 3.5, 3:40, and they actually do have a designated break in the middle of the movie to go and to hop out, yeah.
If you watch it in a cinema.
Yeah, I went to watch it last week. I went to a 10 a.m. session. I didn't have enough time to see it before I had to go and do the school pickup at the end of the day.
I reckon the longest one I ever saw was The Irishman, Scorsese. That feels like that.
Yeah, that was long.
I reckon that was about a 3-hour
It was.
job.
I think it was like a 3:50. Yeah, it was a Netflix one.
I've backed Demi Moore for Best Actress. I did it on
You've
the
been
first show
backing it
of
since
this
before
year.
she was even nominated for anything.
Well, on the first show of this year, somebody said Demi Moore will win. Who was that said that?
I'll claim it.
Yes.
Yep.
And I took Mitch's advice, and we got Miley back now.
We've got Miley?
Just talking about Best Actress. Is Demi Moore the red-hot favourite to take that out?
Hello, guys. Sorry about that. Look, everyone is saying that Demi Moore will win this award for Best Actress. She's been around for a really long time. She had an incredible performance in The Substance, and people think that really she deserves to win that award. But a lot of critics are also saying that Mikey Madison should win.
No.
Now, she was in Honora, which is a fabulous film as well, which is also up for Best Picture.
Oh, you can't say that to Ash. He's a big fan of Demi.
Oh, no. I got her at $1.80 too.
Oh, well, it'll be interesting to see who takes it out. I'm not sure if you guys have seen Honora. I've been describing it as kind of a dark twist on Pretty Woman. There's a lot of buzz about that film as well. So it's really between those two to see who will get it.
Who's hosting?
Conan O'Brien.
Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
Is that his first time doing the
Yeah,
Oscars?
which is going to be really fun. It is. It's his first time, and he's been doing a lot of interviews saying that he's a bit nervous but also really excited. He's been watching old shows, but the one thing that I love about it is he's actually been slipping into clubs around Hollywood and practicing his material on the crowd. So surprise appearances. So it'll be interesting to see if any of that material makes it to the stage.
Hey, speaking of jokes that don't go down well, remember Chris Rock and Will Smith? Is he still banned from the Oscars? Is he serving a suspension, or is he welcome back in the building?
You know what? I don't know if he's officially barred, but I will say lately he's been kind of reappearing at a couple of these public appearances and these events. I've seen him around a bit more in the last few months and years, really. So he's making his reappearance again after that moment that will absolutely go down in Oscars history. Everyone knows that moment, thinks about it when you think of the Oscars.
Yeah, well, now every comedian is terrified to host because you're wondering who's going to smack you across the chops.
I think he got a suspension. I think he seriously got a suspension.
Yeah, I thought it was a 5-year ban, wasn't it?
Careless and high, and he got 5 years or
Yeah,
something.
I think
I'm
it
not
was
sure
5
if it's
years.
still. I'm not sure if it's still valid, but it'd be interesting to know if he'd ever even really want to come back after that.
Oh, man, can you imagine? Imagine being the comedian that night when Will Smith's back in the...
Oh, you'd go in for
audience.
sure.
You'd have to go there, wouldn't you?
And Ricky Gervais is hosting. I mean, oh, my God.
That'd be the best.
Oh, we'll watch it all. We'll watch it all today. As I said, the coverage kicks off 2.5 hours from now, 9 a.m. You can watch it on Channel 7. And Miley Hogan, thank you once again. Appreciate it.
Have fun, Miley.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
The Ash, Luttsy and Nikki Osborne podcast.
I was just having a scroll then of all the Oscars stuff that's coming across my feed, mostly through Entertainment Tonight, and then I saw a post that made me nearly fall off my chair. You know, you've got friends who are a bit understated. You know, they keep everything on the down low. They don't post about their achievements or anything. You know, opposite of me on social media. There he is, kitted up with his wife, going Oscars ready.
Who?
My mate Rob Galuzzo, an Aussie in Sydney, who's produced a film that is up for Best Documentary, Porcelain War.
He's there?
He's there. He's going to the bloody Oscars. He didn't even say he was nominated. He hasn't posted anything about it. They won Sundance, so that's kind of that. You know, I should have known from that.
He
took out Sundance.
Big.
What's the punting on it, Mitch?
He's second favourite, paying $2.25.
And I've just texted him now. I'm like, bloody hell. You could go to the Oscar. He could walk away with an Oscar today. And it's about Ukrainian artists, these 3 Ukrainian artists who end up putting their paintbrushes down and pick up the guns to defend Ukraine. So it's very much the hot topic. If they were voting this week, I'd say he's a shoo-in. But he's up against another documentary about Israel. So,
that's also very topical.
I wonder how he found those subjects.
He's now this guy, my friend. I won't go on about his name because he obviously likes to keep a low profile. But he's heavily involved in things that are important. He started up an initiative called the Lion's Share, which is where in advertising they always use animals in advertising, and he works very closely with David Attenborough. And he said, we need to come up with a thing where every time an animal's used, they get paid a fee like as though they're an actor. And that money goes to save, you know, forests and endangered species and all of that. So he's ended up working with David Attenborough in American politics, trying to save the world. That's just one of the things he does and doesn't post about on Instagram.
He's off to the biggest show in town.
Yes, he's one of those creative artists.
I hope he wins.
I know. He really deserves it.
I hope they give those animals a banana or something as well, though. Can I just say that? Like the payment system seems a little flawed for me. That the animal does the work on the ad.
Yeah, and they don't get paid.
They save a forest. I mean, that's kind of like, you know, emceeing. You know, where they go, it'll be good for your profile. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can't pay you,
like,
but the
give the animal a
experience will
banana.
be so rich for you, and you'll be so much better for the.
Like,
for
what
the
else?
rest.
What else was the animal going to do that day? Really, the laundry? Come on, it's a good day out.
That's what they say to us. That's what they say to us. You work mornings. What else are you going to do on a Tuesday night than a
jump
than
up
a
there,
cement
monkey boy,
industry?
and I'm going to need you to do the auction too.
The Ash, Luttsy and Nikki Osborne podcast.
The Noosa Eat and Drink Festival. 4 days of flavour, fun and pure Noosa magic. May 29 to June 1. Book at noosaeatdrink.com.au.
Ash, Luttsy and Nikki Osborne's Tastings on Hastings.
All right, we're going to play this every day this week, and then on Friday we're going to have the big prize draw. So what we're doing at the moment is we're looking for people to put into the draw for Friday.
Yes.
But the grand prize here, huge, is it's valued at over $5,000. Let's say hello to Karen out of Willowvale. Hello, Karen.
Hello.
You have a listen to this major prize. Now, if you're successful in just a moment, you could win a 4-night stay at the Noosa RACV. This is in a 3-bedroom apartment. It comes with daily breakfast.
Don't mind if I do.
I've stayed there.
So have I.
It's a really great place to stay.
It's unreal.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was there, I think last year, at some stage last year.
Yep.
Took the whole family up, and it's a great location, and it's a great
Family
resort.
friendly.
It is. It's fantastic.
Is that the one that's just tucked away in the forest
Yes.
there
Yes.
as you go over the hill?
But you're like 5 minutes away from the mainland part
What
of
a
Noosa.
spot.
Yeah.
People are usually
It's the
trolling
best
around there trying to
location.
get a park,
No.
and you're right in the guts of it.
Yeah, and yet it feels like you're in the bush.
Yes.
It's magnificent. So you get that. That's valued at like $3,400. You get 2 tickets to the official opening party on the Friday night. They're worth about $400 each. You get 2 tickets to the Festival Village and the Shandong Lounge each day, the Saturday and the Sunday. They're valued at $558. We'll give you 2 tickets to the Head of Noosa dinner on the Thursday night, which is worth $440.
Come on!
And on top of that, we're giving you a $200 petrol voucher for the whole weekend. It's over $5,000 in value, this major prize.
Wow. That's crazy.
And
I know.
And it's the Noosa Eat and Drink Festival, which is absolutely fantastic. One lucky winner is going to win that this Friday. But what we're going to be doing this week is we're going to be sampling some of the food that will be on offer during the festival.
Yes, and what does Karen have to do? She has to identify...
Yeah, well, Ash is the real foodie of the group, aren't you, Ash? You've got a real, sort of delicate sort of palate there, so you're just going to be tasting along and and identifying the flavours. And what you'll have to do, Karen, is pick out the flavour, the ingredient that wouldn't belong in the dish that you're describing. And if you correctly identify that ingredient, then you go into the draw.
You're in the draw.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, in the draw, right, okay.
Okay. And how do I pronounce this dish that I'm trying this morning?
Oh, you'll work it out, buddy.
Tagliatelle.
Tagliatelle. I'm trying tagliatelle.
All right.
Do you know what that is?
No, tell me.
Well, it's like a pasta.
Pasta, right?
Look, we're not going to make it
dish.
too hard on you, Karen. All right. Okay, come on, Ash. Tell me,
first.
what is in your tagliatelle?
All right, so in my tagliatelle, I can taste some free-range egg tagliatelle. Okay. I can taste some Fraser Island spanner crab, which is absolutely delicious. Yeah. Delicious. I've got basil. I've got honeycomb, chili, butter, and lemon. So what do you reckon? What's the ingredient that doesn't fit there?
Honeycomb.
You reckon it's honeycomb?
Yeah,
of course
I
it
reckon
is.
Do you want to lock that in?
I want to lock that in. Yeah.
You got it. You got it, Karen. Honeycomb's not in the pasta.
No, everyone knows that.
No, unless a 5-year-old's making it, or maybe Luttsy at 3 a.m. But aside from that, you don't...
You're right.
Well, you are in the major prize draw, should I say, Karen, and we just detailed all that. A fantastic prize. I mean, no wonder you need 4 nights up there at the wonderful Noosa RACV with everything that you've got tickets for, something happening every day, the Noosa Eat and Drink Festival. 4 days of flavour, fun and pure Noosa magic, May 29 to June 1. Book at noosaeatdrink.com.au.
Sounds good.
The Ash, Luttsy and Nikki Osborne podcast.
Luttsy, what are you doing?
He's going off to see a panda. He's going off to see a panda.
No,
today.
not one panda. I'm seeing twin pandas. They're really
He's going
rare.
to see,
And that is not a euphemism. He's actually going to see pandas.
No,
He's
for
in
real.
Hong Kong. Are they identical twins? These pandas?
It's Ocean Park, which apparently is Hong Kong's biggest theme park. Ying Ying, who I just showed you a picture of, that's Ying Ying. That's Ying Ying there.
I need to explain.
Oh, is that Ying Ying? Is that Ying Ying?
Ying Ying gave birth to a male and a female, so same as you and Luke, I guess. You're a twin, so I should ask you about
but
this.
we're both males, though.
But they didn't know when you came out, remember?
Twins, yeah. We're identical twins. And by the way, do pandas normally just have one offspring? Because, if you think about it, like you get a litter of dogs, like I guess they're all sort of,
No, I think it's a one-off willy usually, but Ying Ying had 2, and Ying Ying's really old, so it was almost a miracle. And Beijing gave it to the Hong Kong Ocean Park, and now these pandas, these twin pandas, are about 7 months old now, and they've just released it they've just opened it to the public like a couple of weeks ago. So I'll be one of the first people to see these twin pandas.
Is this their first public showing? Do you get up close and personal with them? Like, is it going to be? Well,
I don't know whether you can pat them or whatever.
Experience? Because they're known as being like ridiculously friendly.
Yeah, and super cute. You see all the videos going viral. I would like, if I'm not doing this, actually, no. My dream job would be to be a panda panda handler.
What?
That's what you'd like, a panda.
A panda handler.
Yeah, they cuddle. They put them to bed. Like when they hurt themselves, they cuddle them and they snuggle.
Yeah, you give them a bamboo stick and they always just seem happy. I'd
Yeah.
like
Happy,
to
don't they?
think in whatever their enclosure is, they need a swing set because nearly every time you put a swing set in a panda enclosure and the fun and frivolity will ensue. You know, they're going to get the big fat ass in that thing, upside down and around.
And then fall off.
They fall off, and then they look confused, and then they give it another go.
I love the way Asia got the really good bears. Whereas, America, North America, they got all the ones that bite your head off. And they got the super cute ones.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Pandas
These things
are just fun and games, aren't they? It's not like it's,
I believe so.
When they were born, though, one of them was 122 grams. Like, think of how small that is. I was like, as big as, it's like, that big, Ash.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, but I don't know how big they are now, whether I can cuddle them today or whatever, because, I mean, presumably at some point they get too big for that sort of activity, but they're 7 months old now, these twin pandas. Google them. It's a whole thing. It's a big thing over here.
I look forward to the report of the pandas.
Yeah, I'll send. Check out my Insta and I'll send it to Nick today. There'll be some panda activity. Photos of panda handlers.
What about Luttsy upping the factor?
The Ash, Luttsy and Nikki Osborne podcast.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness Northbridge or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.